Holy
Shoot.
crap, where?
Right there.
All of this.
And some on the other side.
Well, let's clean that sucker up and oh my God! I don't have glasses on, I can see all that. And right behind me is Kevin Hoagland with the GPAA. You know, he's got about 30, 40 years, whatever, of lode mining. And we've got Debbie Smikoski with MineLab. And anyway, Debbie's brought like all of their damn metal detectors, and I mean almost all of them. Okay? And two, we want to try out the 6000 and maybe a couple of others, the SDC 2300. We have the 7000 and we have the Gold Monster 1000, but we want to try out these other ones. So anyway, we're at an Angels camp, going to Screamer Mine, be fun. And got Debbie with MineLab here. She's brought some pretty cool stuff. So you brought the 2300?
We got the 2300, the Gold Monster, and the GPX 6000.
Okay, so the 6000 is something we don't own, and we don't own a 2300, and that's something that Dave Rabioff at Gold Bay, another buddy, he runs a lot with the 2300 inside on his quartz walls, and so we're going to take it in right now. We've ran the 2300 only when we found a pocket in here in the wall, and we'll show you guys that. But, yeah, let's take the 6000.
And one of the things that always surprised me about this area is that there were so many lode mines here that were based on the original placer strikes.
Right.
But when you really start looking at the area around Angels Camp and you really start looking at the geology, the guys that came in here originally that were working had no idea of geology. They were just looking for the gold, and then they would follow the stream gold up, then hit the bench, and then the residual, and you know, all the way up the alluvial, and then all the way up to the residual. And I have always believed that the majority of the pocket mines all through this particular district, and coming back, I'm not going to say which direction we are out of Angels Camp, but coming back this direction has been virtually untouched.
Yeah.
And what I've seen so far, and looking at the ground and walking around, I'll agree with a lot of that.
This is why I love my job right now.
Well, when we brought the monster in, we came in here and Wade got a hit right here. And when I leaned forward, I could actually see gold sticking out of this particular event right here.
Right.
And so we knocked this down, and that's where the pocket was, is sitting right there. So that's the high grade.
That's the high grade.
That's the high grade hanging wall that goes all the way to the top of the claim.
Okay. So right off the bat, do you see that's a pressure push right in there?
Meaning, explain it for us crayon eaters.
Okay. For you crayon eaters, see that gap between the quartz, the actual quartz line?
Uh-huh. This right here?
No. Up here on the top.
Oh, yeah, that gap.
So this actually was pushed up. So this was pushed up, and it was an event of absolutely zero mineralization.
Right. That
Very, very low mineralization, and it cooled because this separation right here, you put a pry bar in there and you'll drop tons of this material. Came in afterwards and looks like it filled in this area. And then as it cooled, there was another event that came in through here, and that's where...
So you think this is... I'm tripping. This is a secondary event here?
I think it is.
Okay.
And we're not talking about a long period of time. It could have been, geologically speaking, within days. But if you look at how all of this is in here and all this lays in, and this isn't even connected. This is really not connected. It's wedge fit in here. It all could be associated with one singular event that was really slow. Really slow. So this, as Albie has a tendency to just be almost intrusive.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, so it's absolutely intrusive. So anywhere that it gets an opportunity to squirt in, it's going to squirt in. But it also has the ability to cool very, very quickly.
Yeah.
So
it's very porous.
Yeah, it's very porous, so it cools very quickly. But
I had a White's MXT 300, which was a pretty good metal detector back in the day when I bought it, and I kept it for about 10 years. We found a lot of things, really cool artifacts, and really cool. We found some pretty good gold with it. So I metal detected the out of the shaft for a number of years and multiple times. And I came through this very area right here. And then we had a buddy of ours come in with the gold monster. And I had not brought my monster in here. And this is right where he came along. And because that monster is so sensitive, it picked up a little tiny, you may have been able to pick up that piece of gold, may or may not, that was sticking out of the quartz, but it was in this little valley here where I couldn't get any of the heads of my bigger metal detectors close enough to it to give a signal. Well, with the little monster, he just tipped it down and went right, and we just screamed immediately like, dude, right here. And so when we took this out, this whole area right here, about the size of a basketball, had gold shoots in every direction in it.
This is
so that's the advantage of using the modern metal detectors, especially what you guys have. I mean, it paid for a multiple number of metal detectors in one frickin' day.
It is. Okay, so we've got one layer.
Come back.
So this is not, you're not really getting anything. Okay, so that.
Not yet anyway.
Yeah.
Really, we haven't done as much before.
And you can hear she's getting a wobble there.
Yeah.
So we kind of think, it's kind of like the little portion of the video we did earlier, is we think that keeps going down that direction right there. So we'll let you hear the wobble again. Yeah, that's pretty pronounced.
Yep.
Okay. We've determined that this tailing pile actually came from about the 1930s based on the artifacts that we've found, metal detecting, old shoe tacks, etc. And for some reason, when they pulled this material out of the stope, they didn't see the visible gold. So they threw it right on a tailing pile, and for another reason, probably the war, they walked away from this and they left it here. And here it sat for 90 years. Until this mine was claimed, and then we came along with our modern metal detectors from MineLab and find all this stuff. So pretty cool stuff, and there's literally acres of tailing piles that need to be metal detected here. So folks, we're out here at the Screamer, and which is just outside of Angels Camp. We're not going to disclose the actual location, but anyway, there's a stope, meaning it's an angled shaft that they punch down on that hanging wall that we described earlier. And they brought out that high-grade material, and we believe it was in the 1930s, and they dumped it on the freaking ground here and made this pile. And then they would have one guy, we call him Clem. So Clem back in 1930s, who had really bad glasses, and we think he had a drinking problem.
Yeah, definitely a drinking problem.
Anyway, he would sit here, and his job was to cob things, meaning that he would take these rocks, he would look at them, see if there was gold in them, and then he would take a rock hammer and he would hit it. And if he would see gold, then they would keep that, and that would go to the crush. If it didn't have gold in it, he would throw it on the pile. Well,
meanwhile, we're finding gold.
oh, be that rock.
Of course it's that rock.
Okay, well, that was really good timing. That was not staged, by the way. I don't have my glasses on, but I kind of think that might be gold right there.
Let me see, I got my loop.
No, that one's not, but it'll be there somewhere. We still got that bucket.
So anyway, his job was to crack these rocks and cob it, and we're in that cob pile. And we found it by using a Monster 1000, a MineLab. And the reason it's called a Screamer mine is because we find rocks that literally scream like that one
You'll see it.
with
It's
the
visible.
monster.
It's visible.
We'll make it more visible.
Yeah.
So anyway, we find these rocks that are this size all the way up to the biggest one we've ever found is actually even bigger than this. And then what we do is we cut those into slabs, and they have gold running all through there. We'll impose some pictures that you guys can see. And then those we make into cabochons, cabs. And they're extremely valuable. So if you have something that's the size of a quarter, that's a jewelry grade piece, that you want to put on a pendant, that could be worth $1,000 or more. So you take a rock like this, if you get 10 slabs out of it and 2 cabs out of each one, Now you can see how rocks are extremely valuable like this, you know, $10,000, $15,000 even. So that's what we're looking for here, and we've only been here about 20 minutes and Kevin's already found the first one. This is a real small one.
It's got little EDB specks all the way through that seam,
Oh, wow.
and then a big chunk sticking out over
Well,
here.
hell, I can see that, and I don't even have my glasses on. And I have vision than Clem did. Well, that's pretty cool. So here, we'll show you this piece. That's pretty easily visible. And look, there's gold that runs all the way through that seam, and that seam all through there. So this, guys, is why we think Clem was frickin' blind and he had a drinking problem, because how could you miss that? Which one do you think it is? That big one right there? Pull it out.
Nope. The one
Maybe
above
it
it.
might be two.
Yep. Nope.
Not that one.
This one above it, I believe.
This critter right here.
Yep. The one below it.
That would be nice. Look at the size of that. Hit it again.
Just drop it.
It's that one.
Here, drop it. Let's see.
That's gonna be good.
That's what we call a tap out.
That's gonna be good.
Mr. Cleaner.
Brass will bounce. Brass will bounce a little bit. Copper will just nail right, no matter what.
No, this is bouncing.
These go pretty good right.
Big pieces too.
That's a good layer.
It is a good layer. It's right on top of the really, really good layer. It's out. Oh,
Shoot.
so the way that we like to do this is we like to take big rocks and move them out of the way, and then you detect the ground, and hopefully it's gone. Damn it. I would hit those. Might be two. All right. It's gonna.
I'll take that piece down.
There you go.
Well, you got it. Let's hope that it's something big.
It's definitely a good signal. If it's a blasting cap, it's a big piece of blasting cap.
Yeah, it's tapping out. Be that big rock in there.
That's right. This is just an easy thing.
Take the big rocks out. Now stop. No sound. Go ahead. Yes! Yes!
Sandwich rock.
Oh?
Ring.
My ring.
Oh no.
Nice!
Oh, it's that
Damn!
Oh shoot. You turn it over. I saw it from here.
Right there. Yep.
Holy
Huge.
crap, where?
Right there.
All of this.
And some on the other side.
Well, let's clean that sucker up and oh my God! I don't have glasses on. I can see all that. Holy
And it's dirty.
damn! Yeah, let's scrub that baby up. That's your hand. Be that big frickin' rock right there. Yes!
Oh, I can see it.
It's tapped out.
I can see it.
It's tapping out too.
See it
Holy
all there?
Batman. Look at all
Now
of
I'll
the
bet
gold.
you, like a puzzle piece, that'll fit right to that other piece that I
So if
bet.
it's that monster rock, it looks like it is. Just move it. Oh my God. Oh. Is that gold?
Yep.
Yeah,
Nick,
right there. Oh yeah, you can see it down in the bug now. There. So the gold goes from here to there. That is an astounding find. So guys, this is a really old Highland Park saw. We actually got it from a buddy, but they're really, really good quality, you know, back when the shit wasn't made in China. And anyway, so it's just basically got an electric motor that runs a belt, which comes through this drive, and then there's a gear in here that turns a screw drive that's threaded. And so once you clamp the rock in and the motor starts turning, it moves the carriage super, super slow against the diamond blade, and it cuts the rock. Once the rock gets past the blade, we have a little chain in there that sets up, it's a stop, and it turns the motor off. So that's when you know you should have a slab sitting in your little tray there. So we'll let this run about 10 minutes and it'll shut off, and then we'll show you what we get. So this is kind of the climax of the video that we did with Kevin and Don and Jerry and Debbie from MineLab. So we ran out of light last night, and so we cut this rock right along this edge and didn't really see any gold, so we turned it around where we could see gold on the end here. And I've got my finger over this because now I'm going to show you. Holy crap! Look at that. Oh my gosh. Holy cow. So now, and we'll zoom in and we'll overlay another picture. But what's really cool about this is now that we know gold is just like spidering through there, kind of like lightning, is now we can actually do a whole bunch of cabs on this. And each one of these is probably worth anywhere between $500 to $1,500. So that's pretty cool. But that is just stunningly gorgeous. And that's what it's all about. So there you go. There's the final payoff kind of thing. Where's the other one, Jared? Right here.
Yeah, it doesn't.
So this is the other half of it.
It shows, but not like that one.
No, because the blade went right through the middle here. But even that one, look at all the gold on the end of that. It's just super sparkly. So we'll give you some zoom in shots here, but there you go. So pretty cool.
Well, we sure hope that you guys enjoyed this video. We enjoyed the heck out of Debbie and Kevin going out with us and finding all this gold. Make sure you follow us on Facebook, and we'll see you guys real soon.